What's up? My name's August. I have made a game. It is called Arcana Chess. And we got a victim here. We're going to try to teach the game to. It's pretty cool. It's a combination of like fantasy gaming roleplay stuff and chess, which I love both of.
Right.
So, cool. You want me to go through the rules now?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay. So, let's see. Where do we start? I'm going to look to the thing. So the first thing we need to do is set up the board and understand what all the pieces are. This is the game board. This is a chess board. It's an 8x8 grid. We have all these cards we're going to play with, right? You start with all these, and then you upgrade into those. These are your captured piles. Whenever I capture one of your guys, I put him face down in this pile. Okay. You have the same with yours.
Okay.
Whenever we upgrade something, you don't put them in your capture pile. You put them face down in the shared remove from game pile here. Okay. So we share that. That's things shouldn't come out of this, but things can be affected over here.
All right.
So first thing we need to do with setup is we need to figure out who's who. Do you want to play black or white?
I'll do the black.
Okay, you'll play black. There's a 4-player version of this game, and in 4-player you need black, white, gold, and red. But for the 2-player version, because you play the 4-player version with half as many pieces, I've just color-coded them all 4, and you just used both of these for black.
All right, cool.
So I'll use these. These are your nobles, your king and your queen. These are mine. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our nobles. You're going to put the queen in her colored square. I'm playing white, so I'm going to put her on the lighter color square. You're going to play it like that. And then I'm going to take the white and you take the black. And we're going to set these up like normal pieces, with the exception of the pawns are all numbered. You're going to want to put the pawns from outside in 1 through 4. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Just like that. Excellent. And then you're going to take the red and do the same on the other side. Boom. Just like so. Fantastic.
Cool.
All right. Next thing you do is you flip all these cards over because they actually have stuff on the front.
All right.
Now, all these guys, all these are called apprentices, the ones that are just single-sided. These are the pieces you start with, but throughout the game, you're gonna upgrade these pieces into the more complex experts over here.
All right.
Now, all your pawns are the same as my pawns, they just have different pictures. So my pawn 1 is mechanically identical to your pawn 1, they just have a different picture.
All right.
So you know, I like art, so I put different pictures on things. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these. These are called strength clips.
Okay.
You're playing black, so you'll take the black ones. I'm playing white. I'll take the white ones. You're going to take these, and you're going to put them on all of your cards wherever this little asterisk is. That's their starting strength.
Okay.
Now, you're going to put them like this with this side up.
Like that?
Okay. So on all your back row pieces, you're going to put them like this.
Oh, all right.
On all your pawns on the front, you put them the way you had them, like this.
Cool.
Okay? Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. So the strength of your guys serves both as like hit points on your guys and your like how good you are at fighting,
Okay.
right? So that's how you're going to track your pieces. The stronger something gets, the closer it gets to 8, the stronger of a piece it's going to be. That changes dynamically throughout the game. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's let you finish doing then with
understood. And that's it.
Cool. We'll take all the rest of these, put them away. The yellow and the gold and red ones are for 4-player games.
Okay.
So we won't use the rest of those. Excellent. Okay. So we've got our boards.
Okay.
All the ones you start with are apprentices except for your 2 nobles. If something says noble, we're talking about these 2 guys. It's your king and your queen.
All right.
Okay? The goal of the game is to reduce your opponent's king, Arbiter Augustus, to 0 strength.
All right.
There's no check. There's no checkmate. There's no stalemate. You are trying to eliminate the Arbiter Augustus. And more importantly, protect your own. The only other way you lose the game is if you get to your exhaust phase and you don't have a legal option to choose, then you also lose the game. You'll understand what that is here.
Okay.
It happens late in the game, and it's a mechanic that is designed to just kind of be a mercy rule. If you don't have enough pieces to play,
All right.
you know. Okay, so let's go through the card anatomy so we can start looking at. And this is what your little thing is going to tell you. If you look at a card, this up here, that's the name of the card. It tells you who it is. In the case of the apprentices, you have your apprentice pawn 3 of wisdom. That means he's an apprentice, so he's eligible to upgrade and whatnot. He's a pawn 3, which tells you which pile he's going to upgrade from. And of wisdom, all the guys in the wisdom pile are going to be healer type guys.
Okay.
Okay? So that's the name. The rank is this guy's rank is pawn 3. Okay?
All right.
That's in the top left corner. And you look at this, it kind of
Oh, I see. Okay.
tells you where the things are. This is your strength bar. That tells you how strong the thing is. And when it reaches 0, that character is captured. It can't go above 8.
All right.
Okay? Starting strength is marked with an asterisk. Attack type. In the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to have a little circle. If it's empty like this, that means that guy has no attack.
Okay.
If it has a sword, that means he's a melee attacker. And if it has a bow and arrow, that means he's a ranged attacker. And we'll go through that in more detail during the attacking section. But that's how you tell when you're evaluating cards which upgrade you want and whatnot. That's an important thing to look at.
Okay.
Armor. If you see a guy that has a little shield down here, that means he has armor. And whenever he would take damage under some conditions, which are specified later, he'll prevent some of the incoming damage to him. Okay? And then you have abilities. Abilities are all down here in this box, right? All of your apprentices only have 1 ability each. If you notice, all these guys you're upgrading into all have 3 or 4 abilities.
Oh, I see.
They're much more complicated. The types of abilities. If you see something with a fist icon, right? That means he has a special action. Special actions have to be taken instead of attacking. This particular character doesn't have an attack, so what he's going to do during his turn is this. If you have a character that has both, you have to choose between them.
All right.
Okay? If you see something that has an hourglass, that's a reset ability. That means something passively happens when it's reset turns at the end of the turn. Defensive abilities are these little crosshairs.
Okay.
That means something happens when this guy gets attacked. A foot icon. Are there any guys with foot icons? Okay, that's going to look like this. That means something's different with his movement
Okay.
from normal. And then if you have a piece that doesn't have any symbol, that means it's a passive ability that's always on.
Okay.
Okay. If you see something that has numbers,
Yeah.
that means that it's a passive ability that unlocks at that first number and gets better at the second number. So if you notice over here on his strength bar, he's got a 4 and 8, which is color-coded yellow and orange. It's black here because it's not turned on yet. But as soon as you hit that first number, the background behind those numbers is going to go yellow. That means you've unlocked something,
All right.
right? And it gets better at the 8. The same thing is true with this guy. It gets green, and then it gets greener at 8. Okay?
Okay.
If you see something that has green text on it, that's a come into play whenever it gets upgraded ability. Pay attention to those. Okay. So this game, and I'll explain that guy in just a minute.
Okay.
This game, and we're going to go to this other cheat card here, is played in phases like a lot of other games.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
There's 6 phases in a turn. You have the exhaust phase, first move phase, attack phase, special action phase, second move phase, and end of turn phase. Okay? Let's go through those one at a time. Exhaust phase. These are exhaust tokens.
Okay.
Okay? All the exhaust phases, well, before I get into that, in a turn, you're basically going to pick a card. You're going to move it, and you're going to attack or special action in a turn. You're only going to move basically the one card in a turn. You're not going to move this guy and attack with that guy.
Okay.
You're gonna pick one person, right? So the exhaust phase, you're taking an exhaust token and you're just putting it on whoever you're gonna move that turn. This is the guy I'm gonna use this turn, right? And you have to choose someone who doesn't already have an exhaust token. Okay? So unlike chess, you can't move the queen and then move the queen again and then move the queen again. Once you move her, you have to put an exhaust token on her. And then you can't use her again until she doesn't have one.
Okay.
Okay? If you look at your queen's green text, it says, I begin the game exhausted. So let's go ahead and put one of those in her.
It's one. Cool.
So that's all the exhaust phase is you picking which thing you're going to use that turn.
All right.
Cool?
So then the queen, I can use her on the first turn, or?
No, she's
No?
exhausted,
Okay.
so she's not an option you can choose on the first turn. She's already exhausted. Just begins the game that way. Move phases. You have 2 move phases. You either have the first move phase or the second move phase. If you look right here, see,
Okay.
there's a first move phase and a second move phase. You can only use one or the other. You can't use both. But for some reason, sometimes you want to move before the attack or special action. Sometimes you want to do it after, right?
Okay.
So you get to pick which one you want.
That's why you have the 2 options.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're going to move, the first thing you do is you can't move through allied squares. If somebody's here and here, I can't move through my people, just like in chess.
Okay.
Okay. But you can't move through things. You can't end your square in an allied square, right?
Okay.
If you are moving someone into an unoccupied square, you just go ahead and move it, right?
Okay.
If you're moving in a enemy occupied square, you're going to start a fight, right? You can only do that with people who have melee attacks. The way you start a melee attack is you move into a square that already has an enemy in it. If you do that, you leave your exhaust token in the last square that you moved through before you got there.
Okay.
And the reason you do that is because if I capture this guy, he's not going to be here anymore, and you resolve this to him, right?
All right.
But if I attack and I fail and he's still there, this is here, I'm going to get pushed back to my exhaust token.
Okay.
Because at the end of the turn, you can't occupy the same square.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When we're talking about movement, most of pieces move like you would expect chess pieces to move. Your rooks move as far as they want, horizontally or vertically,
Cool.
right? Your bishops move as far as you want, diagonally.
All right.
Your knights move in L shapes, like you'd expect a knight to. Your king moves one space. Your queen moves as far as she wants, horizontally, vertically,
Okay.
or diagonally. So all of those pieces are how you would expect them to move, right? The pawns are different, okay? The pawns, if they have their little strength clip like this, that tells you that this piece hasn't been chosen during the exhaust phase for the first time, right? The first time you choose one of these pawns in the exhaust phase, you flip this over to denote you've already activated that guy once.
Oh, okay, I see.
The first time you activate those guys, you can move 2 squares in any combination of directions. That means forward. You can move diagonally, sideways.
All right.
You can move backwards diagonal and then over a space.
Okay, cool.
The pawns in this game are crazy.
All right.
All right, they're totally different. Now, once it's flipped over, they still move 2 spaces in any combination of directions, but they now have the restriction of I can only advance forward 1 row, right?
Okay.
So he can move forward, but then he's got to move sideways, or he can move forward diagonal and then sideways, but he can't go forward anymore. He can't go forward diagonal forward. You can only advance to the next 1 row.
So when you change this quit is after the initial first move?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's just a restriction because if you could always move them too, they get across the board way too fast.
Right.
Right. So just like in chess, the first time you move a piece, you can move them a little further. Right. But every time after that, they can only move forward 1 space.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so after the first move phase, and the second move phase is the same as the first move phase, except for you can't end your turn in an enemy-occupied square because you've already passed the attack step and you won't be able to attack it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's get to attacking. Okay, let's say you have this guy here and I have this guy here, right? My guy has a melee attack. So chosen this, I can move up to 2 squares. Right? I have a melee attack, so the way I attack this guy is I would move into his square, right? Boom. But I have 2 moves that I can do that with. So I do have the option that I can go up here and then sideways and leave this token here instead. That way, whenever I attack, I get pushed back over here instead of getting pushed back this way.
Right.
Because a lot of times in this game, you're both considering, if I capture that piece, where am I going to be? But also, if I don't capture it, where am I going to be?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If your guy has if your piece has a melee attack, a sword, then the way you initiate the attack is to move into the square. If your character has a ranged attack, the restriction on ranged attack, this character can attack anything he could move to in a single move phase. Okay, so let's say my bishop is here, right?
Okay.
I choose this guy. I can shoot this guy. If I want to shoot this guy, there's no reason for me to move. So you could say, I'm going to skip my first move phase. I'm going to shoot this guy because I could move to him in a single move phase. So therefore, he's eligible to attack with a ranged attack. And then you can either move up this way or you can move totally this way.
And the range attack is just the diagonal, right?
For a bishop, yes.
Okay.
For a rook, it would be horizontal and vertical. It's who could you move to? And the attack, who you attack and your movement is completely independent of each other. So just because you attack this way doesn't mean you have to move into that square later.
Oh, I see.
You can move other. You can also say, and you can move during the second move phase. You can also, with a ranged attacker, go, you know what, I don't want to attack that guy. I'm going to use my first move phase to move here and attack this guy.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But then you can't move during the second move phase because you've already moved once.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So ranged attack is kind of crazy in this game. There's all kinds of things to consider. So first part of the attack phase, you choose an eligible thing to attack. If you're ranged, then you're talking about what could I move to. If your piece you're moving is a melee, you're saying, am I in the square with something?
Okay.
Then the next thing you do is you roll a dice. This is a D8 system. And in this game, we want low rolls. Low rolls are good. So I would roll a dice. I'm looking for a number equal to or lower than my current strength.
Okay.
So if you attack with something that doesn't have very much strength, your chances for being successful on attack are very low. If your guy's way up here in strength, then you have good chances to hit, right?
Right.
So you roll a dice. You go, okay, I got a 5. This is a bad example because let's pretend he doesn't have that ability, right?
Okay.
But I was looking for a 3. I got a 5, so it's an unsuccessful attack. I just get pushed back here. Nothing happens, right? If I would have rolled a 1, then I would do damage, okay? Damage is equal to half of your strength rounded up,
Okay.
plus any abilities, minus any armor or defensive abilities the enemy has. Okay? In this case, we would have half of 3 rounded up is 2. We would do 2 damage to this guy. He has a defensive ability. I won't go into it, but he can add I will go into it, I guess. Once per turn, he can exhaust or unexhaust to prevent 1 damage. So you would add an exhaust token to that guy to prevent 1 of the damage. He would be doing 2. This prevents 1 of it. So rather than taking 2 and being captured, he would just go down to 1.
Okay. So, and then on your next turn, if the exhaust token's on there, you can't move it?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So then this guy's still here after I'm done attacking, so I get pushed back to here, wherever my exhaust token was.
Okay.
Or over here if I decided to go this way. Right?
Right.
Let's pretend like I did capture that piece. If I had captured it, this guy would go into my capture pile because I captured it. This would go away. This would resolve to him. And I would gain an experience because I captured something.
Okay.
Experience marks a card and a character saying, hey, whenever we get to a reset at a certain time, he's going to get turned into somebody really big and cool over there. So he's going to get more complicated. I promise you all these are better than what you already have.
Cool.
So that's attacking. If the thing you're attacking with is already upgraded or is a noble, which are the same throughout the game, they don't upgrade, then you can do what's called gift an experience. And that means the experience you would have gotten, you can pass it out to something else as long as it's unexhausted.
Oh, all right.
Just gift it wherever you want.
Wherever you need it. And, okay.
Okay, so that's all of attacking, I believe. Then we have, right after attacking is the special action phase, right? That's when you have to do all these things that have these silver fists.
Okay.
You can only use a special action if you didn't attack in the previous phase, right? So if you skipped your attack phase, you can use special action. All the special actions are different. They have all the rules written on the cards. You just follow the instructions at that point, right? After the second special action phase, you have the second move phase. We've already gone through that. The last thing you do in a turn is end of turn phase. Now, if this is the bartender, right? It tells you whose turn it is. So this is the 2-player track. We're playing a 2-player game. You would be here. Last thing I do in my turn, I'm done. I move this and I say, Don Black's your turn. Right?
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, it's like a chess timer.
All right, cool.
Right? Now, if it's most turns, you're just moving this and saying it's in a turn. These are reset turns. A whole bunch of special things happen on reset turns. Okay? On a reset turn, you take your turn as normal, and then at the end of the reset turn, then you reset. So you're going to do 3 things in this order. First thing you're going to do is you're going to gift an experience to one of your unexhausted characters, right?
Okay.
So I go, this guy, I want that guy to upgrade. You're going to get at least 1 upgrade per round.
All right.
All right? Plus any of them that you got through capturing pieces. Second thing you do is you upgrade all things that have experience tokens on them.
Okay.
And the way that works is, this is a pawn 2, right? So I go to the pawn 2 pile. I read through these 4 options. Now, if you notice, I have 2 pawn 2s, you have 2 pawn 2s, right?
Right.
There's 4 options here. right?
Okay.
And 4 things on the board. So sometimes you're looking at your opponent's board going, what do they have? I'm counter picking things. I think for this game, we're going to play random. So we're just assign them numbers and roll it to see what you get. That way we don't have to read all their rules, which very much slows down the game. I think it's the more tactical way to play it. The way I like to play is where you pick the exact one you want, but because you don't know them, let's just do random.
All right, cool.
So I would roll a dice. I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. This is my guy, right? So this is my new guy. He's got 3 different abilities. I would show him to the person I'm playing. All these expert guys have a bunch of advanced rules on the back that tell you exactly what all these abilities mean, right?
All right.
So I would read all that stuff to you, explain exactly what my dude does. There's no hidden information in this game. You get to know everything I know, right?
All right.
I would take this strength cliff off, put it on wherever it was on this guy.
Okay.
So if this guy's gained strength and you upgrade it, then the upgraded version is going to have that strength as well.
Okay.
And then you would take this, replace it. This goes face down here.
Okay.
Right? So now I've got this guy who's better and cooler and whatnot and does cool things, right? So you upgrade all of your things that have experience like that. And then you do, the last thing you do is reset abilities in any order except for your Augustus must be last. Okay?
Okay.
He has a reset ability. His has to be last, but the rest of them you can do it any order you want. If most of the time for the starting pieces, the only one with reset abilities are your rooks. I'll talk about them in just a second. So you would exhaust your rooks, and then you would do your Augustus ability. And that's all the base rules. So let's go through all the pieces you're going to start with. And then hopefully all this will start making sense to you. All right?
All ready?
Okay, let's talk about the Augustus because that's what we were just talking about, right? So his reset ability, which you're doing last at the end, is on reset. After all other reset abilities, I add 1 strength to all exhausted allies, then remove the exhaust tokens from those allies. So everybody that's been exhausted is going to get bigger. All the pieces you've used, the pieces you moved into position, they're all going to have exhaust tokens on them. And the more exhaust tokens you give out, the more things are going to grow.
Okay.
And the more things grow, the better chance they're going to have to hit, the more damage they're going to do, all that stuff.
So with the token, what is it, strength? Yeah, the 1 strength. Does his power go up?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is his strength bar.
Okay, cool.
So those are going to go up at the end of the round for whoever you've used,
All right.
right? The rest of the things on the king. The player who captures me wins the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And enemies cannot automatically succeed attacks against me. Some of these upgraded versions say under certain conditions, I automatically succeed. I don't roll the dice. I just succeed.
Right.
Right? You can't do that against him. Against him, you have to roll the dice anyway, even if you have one of those abilities. All right? Then he's got Dimension Door as a special action, which means as a special action, if he didn't attack, he can castle. That's his special action. Right. If you want a castle, you use his special action. Then he has, you see these gold numbers?
Yeah.
That means that character has an ulti ability, right? That only unlocks at that high level.
Cool.
His ulti ability is choose any enemy regardless of board position and return that enemy to its starting strength 3. If the enemy is unexhausted, exhaust it. So you just look at somebody and you say special action. That queen's way too big. Why doesn't she shrink back down to size and get her an exhaust token so you can't interact with her? Let's talk about the queen. The queen has extra attacks at 4 and 8. That means whenever she attacks something, she can attack again, success or fail. All right. Okay? She has extra damage at 4 and 8.
Cool.
So you would add 1 extra damage to whatever damage she would normally do. She has versatile attacks. Versatile attacks says only one of my attacks per turn can be a ranged attack. The rest must be melee or lost. After capturing and resolving a melee contested square, I may ranged attack a different enemy if I still have an extra attack. I may not ranged attack from a currently contested square, and my natural 7 and 8 rolls always fail. So, what does that mean? Let's set up a situation where that might be useful.
Okay.
Right? So, let's say I have my queen here. I move out here. There's nobody in this square to melee attack. Right?
All right.
I can still ranged attack something. I can ranged attack this guy or this guy. Right?
Okay.
But only one of her attacks per turn can be a ranged attack. Even if she is strength 4 and has 2 attacks, she can only make 1 attack because only one can be a ranged attack.
All right.
Now, let's pretend like she started here, right? She can move in here and attack this guy with a melee attack. Now, let's say she captures that guy with her first attack. Well, now there's nobody to melee attack anymore, right?
Okay.
She still has an extra attack. She can range shoot any one of these because she still has an extra attack and she hasn't used an extra attack per turn. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the only way to get multiple attacks out of her is by doing the melee first.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense? Okay. Bishops. Bishops have extra damage at 4 and 8. Same thing as the queen. I really should have explained this knight and this bishop first. Use the combination of the two. So whenever you attack, you would look at your strength and go half of that rounded up is half of 3 rounded up is 2 plus 1 extra attack if she was 4 or greater. Let's say she was 4.
Okay.
That's what she does. The knight has extra attacks,
Okay.
right? So the knight, if he is 4, can swing, and then regardless of if he hits or misses, he can swing again, as long as he's 4. Now,
Okay.
a lot of playing this game is going to be, well, that knight has 2 attacks, so I'm going to run up and punch him, and I can't capture him, but I can make sure he only swings once.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? By knocking some strength off of him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Your rooks, their ability is a reset ability, which is exhaust me. So whenever it becomes exhaust time, you just go, boop. And remember, right after we do that, the very next thing we're going to do is use the King's Inspire ability to add 1 strength to all of our exhausted things and take the exhaust tokens off. So these rooks are going to grow passively throughout the game, even if you don't pick them.
All right.
Because of that. The pawn 1, which is in the corner, this is your roguey type guy. He has a special action, which is unexhaust me. Okay? So what that means is you exhaust him for the turn. You're like, okay, I'm going to move up here, right? And if you don't have anything to attack, if you want to, you can say, I'm going to use a special action to unexhaust him. That way, next turn, you can go, I'm going to move him again.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the only pieces that you can reuse. But you got to be careful with him because you only have 5 or 6 moves, and if you use 2 or 3 of them on this guy, then nothing else is going to grow because it won't have exhaust tokens. There's opportunity.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This guy, your pawn 2 is your fighter type guy. He's got -2 to all his D8 attack rolls, right? So that means you roll your dice. I was looking for a 3 or lower, but really I was looking for a 5 or lower because I would take this number and subtract 2 from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's better chances of hitting. It doesn't affect his damage, but he has better chances of hitting.
Okay.
Okay? Your pawn 3 does not have an attack, but she has a special action. The special action is exhaust up to 2 adjacent ally apprentices. Why would you want to do that? Well, remember, at the end of the round, we're going to give 1 strength to everything that's exhausted.
Oh, I see.
So what you're doing is you're saying to my opponent, I'm not going to move these guys because they already have exhaust tokens now. So you know that I'm not going to use them this round, but I'm going to have more things to give strength to at the end of the round.
Okay.
And the pawn 3 is also a good example of something that you might want to say, I'm going to skip my first move action, put the things on, and then move it after.
Okay.
Okay? The last piece we have is the pawn 4. This is your tanky type guy. If you'll notice, his numbers are gold at the beginning, and then they're normal afterwards. That means he only has this ability when he's less than 5 strength. So once he gets bigger than 5, this ability turns off. But his ability is exhaust or unexhaust him once per turn to prevent 1 damage, and it's a defensive ability, so it's 2 health, right? So if he is dealt damage, you can go prevent 1 of it, or if it already has 1, you can take it off to prevent 1 of it. But you can only do it once per turn. Cool. That's all the rules, man. And I know it's a lot. Turns will go relatively fast.
Okay.
But it's a lot of timing stuff to make sure that there's not any loopholes in when things happen.
All right.
Right? So white always goes first in this game. If you look at this reset track, white is going to have one extra turn this round, but black is going to reset first. And resetting first is a major advantage because you've just taken all your exhaust tokens off, but I still have all my exhaust tokens on for a round.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.